Hello everyone, welcome back to Cooking with TK. Today you guys, let's make some southern style cornbread dressing. Some may call it southern style cornbread stuffing. But let's get into this video. First, I am going to prepare my cornbread. I have 2 packets of cornbread, pre-mixed cornbread packages, and the only thing I need to do is add eggs and milk. Each packet calls for 1 egg, so that's why I have 2 eggs. And it calls for 1/3 cup of milk for each packet. So I'm going to mix those ingredients together really well. And the next step is to grease my baking dish. I'm using some Crisco, some may call it lard, but you can use vegetable oil, canola oil, or some butter to grease your baking dish. And I'm using the Crisco because I want my cornbread to have those crispy edges for my cornbread dressing. That's right. So go ahead and empty that cornbread mix into your baking dish. And we are going to bake the cornbread until it comes out with a clean fork or toothpick. So that means 20 minutes. So let's get into baking our chicken. Now, some people will boil their chicken to make their homemade cornbread dressing, and there is nothing wrong with that to create their stock. I did have some store-bought chicken stock or chicken broth, you may want to call it. And I am going to use the little bit of broth that comes off of my chicken from me baking it. I will not be using any special seasoning. I'm just going to use the seasoning that came with the bag for baking the chicken in the oven, but I'm going to bake this chicken in my roaster oven. Per the package, you are to lay your chicken parts down flat, as you can see that I am doing here. I have a mixture of wings, legs, and thighs, no white meat, from the package of chicken that I bought. Now, once we get all of our chicken into a single layer, I'm going to use this bag and season for the chicken from McCormick, which the bag was attached to. So go ahead and just pour the seasoning into the bag, into the roaster bag with the chicken. Okay, so now my next step is to use some black pepper and pour me some black pepper in there with my seasoning into my chicken legs like so. Okay, I didn't use a certain amount of black pepper. I would say for this amount of chicken, I would use about a half a tablespoon of black pepper, okay? Go ahead and tie your bag up for your chicken to make our southern style cornbread dressing. Southern style chicken cornbread dressing. Let me repeat myself, because there are many different types of ways to make some delicious southern style cornbread dressing or stuffing. You can use sausage. You can use turkey meat. Some people like to make seafood dressing as well. But today, we are making cornbread dressing, okay? So, I'm going to use this roaster oven that I bought at Walmart. It's by Armour. Y'all know I'm country. I can't hardly speak. Please forgive me, okay? So, I added some water to the bottom of the pan. I'm going to add a little more water. And I'm going to just place my bag of chicken into the roaster oven and put a lid over it. And I'm cooking it at 400 degrees in my roaster oven. And it took about an hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours for the chicken to bake. So now my cornbread is done and it is out of the oven. So I'm going to crumble my cornbread up. And I'm going to place it back in the oven for about 10 more minutes to help dry it out. Okay, so now I am moving on to the next step. My chicken is done. So let's get ready to start mixing everything together. Okay, so I've mixed in some cornbread stuffing package from Stovetop. And now I'm adding in some bell pepper, celery, and onions in my cornbread mixture. I also am adding in my seasoning. Here you see I'm using 2 tablespoons of seasoning salt. Seasoning salt is the best to use when you're making your cornbread stuffing or dressing. I'm going to add in some rosemary. I'm going to add in some garlic powder, some onion powder. Okay, you see that? That's 2 tablespoons of onion powder. I'm going to add in some thyme. I'm going to add in some sage. That's right, that's ground thyme. I'm going to add in some ground sage. It's best to add in the rub sage. The rub sage tastes better. I'm going to add in a tablespoon of garlic. Okay, everyone, you can use fresh garlic if you would like, but don't add too much of garlic because too much of garlic can mess up your dressing, okay? And also, I'm going to add in some chicken bouillon powder as well. I have the Maggi Polio chicken bouillon powder. And I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of black pepper, okay? I will be using some cream of celery, just one of the smaller cans. And also, I will be using a can of cream of chicken and cream of mushroom that's mixed together, okay? Now, if you do not like the cream of celery or the cream of mushroom, you don't have to use that. You can just use cream of chicken. Or you can omit that and, you know, just use the chicken broth. And I'm going to mix this together before I add my chicken broth into my cornbread dressing mixture. Okay, so this is the chicken broth from the baked chicken that we made. And it has a lot of flavor to it, you guys. Let me tell you now, even if you're using turkey, the broth that you get from your turkey and your chicken tastes better than the store-bought broth. Now, the chicken broth that I bought from the store, it tastes really, really good too. You have to shake it up now. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake them. And mix everything together until you get the consistency that I have here now. I also added in a half a stick of butter as well. The butter helps bring out the flavor, so go ahead and add in some butter. I'm going to add my chicken parts. This is the way that I grew up eating my cornbread dressing. Now, if you would like to shred your chicken, trust me, you can cut up your chicken and mix it in with your cornbread. But if I'm going to be fair, it's only a few of us eating this dressing today. So we'll just be able to pick us up a piece of chicken and have our dressing scooped up under it. And we're going to pour our gravy over it, you guys. But I'm making this video because I want you guys to see how some southern style cornbread dressing, old fashioned, old school southern cornbread dressing is made. Cornbread chicken dressing is made at that. So now I'm going to place some foil and I am going to bake this for 45 minutes to 1 hour. I will list all of the ingredients in the description box below so that you guys can know what I made to make my cornbread dressing. Okay, here it is. Voila. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video on how to make some delicious southern style cornbread dressing. I know some people call it southern style cornbread stuffing, but either way it goes, you guys, it's extremely delicious. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I hope this video will help you guys with some pointers on how to make some delicious cornbread dressing or stuffing. Have a great day.